Hey guys, welcome back. Catch, clean, and cook. We kind of missed the mark again. We did the catching part last night. The action was not very good. We tried to get some raw footage of it, and the bite just wasn't happening there. So we actually got a few panfish last night, bluegills, some sunfish, some perch. We met a nice guy on the lake who only caught a handful of them and wanted to give them to us, so he helped us supplement our dinner for today. So we'll try the catch part again, but we are going to bring the clean and cook. So last night it got a little bit late on there, so I put some ice into a bag of fish here, a Ziploc bag, and then surrounded them with more ice, and then put them in the Yeti cooler for the night, which did the perfect trick. These things are about frozen still. Nice hand-sized gills here, and this is kind of one of the smaller ones. So we're fishing in northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin area, and can't really tell you where it's at. That's a secret, but I will tell you there are some nice fish here, and we're gonna fillet a few of these up, kind of give you an idea of what we got here. So nice little Rapala filleting knife. I swear by this little thing. It helps maneuver through here. I mean, there's probably plenty more that are like it, but these nice little bluegills here, I wanted to do kind of a test and see if it kept it fresh overnight. So I put it on ice, and we still have them just as fresh as they were when we pulled them out of the lake yesterday. So these things have some nasty little scales on them. I hate them. So make a nice little incision. The bluegills are easy because they have that little bluegill. If you kind of put it on a nice little angle through there, that will be a good spot to start for you. And then kind of just follow along the backbone here. Make sure you're getting into the tail nice. There's some good meat down there. You're gonna get most of your meat off of here that you're gonna lose up by the rib cage, and I'll show you in a second if I can. I always do this part on cardboard. Some people scale them beforehand. It is such a mess though to scale these things because their scales are so many in numbers here. Kind of just follow it along that backbone where those spines are. Wow, this is some nice white meat. When I get this through here, I gotta show you. This is, putting it on ice overnight was the trick. I actually think I'm gonna do this from now on, because this meat is so firm, the fish are less slimy. All right, so as I go through here now, I'm hitting that rib cage. I'm actually just gonna work over it just a touch, and I really wanna dip around here. So now it's time, you're running out of meat here. There's nothing else on top of the rib cage. Scoot your knife across the top of the rib cage, and now you kind of dip down to the bottom here. Bring it out towards the fin. You're gonna get this nice white flaky meat here.
That's a big fillet.
It is a big fillet. You know what? And that's why I say I think doing it when they were ice cold is actually a lot better, because I'm actually the meat firmed up, the fish firmed up, where they're a little bit more pliable right away. And we put ours right in some cold, fresh water right away when we catch them, to kind of keep them fresh. But I gotta be honest, I'm gonna be putting them in ice from now on, no matter what. That firmed them up perfect. So you kind of hold that fillet down. I made a little incision along the tail there, and I just skated the knife on the way through there. What you're left with is a nice, thick bluegill fillet that is going to turn into some delicious tacos later. I can't even tell you, this is so soft, but so nice and firm as far as like filleting off of here, but the meat is real nice and soft in there. So coming out of there, I'll just move this off for now. Try it again on this side. I don't like scaling them, like I said, but you can scale them if you want and then fry them with the skin on. I don't fry them with the skin on. I'm not really a big skin guy. I find that kind of makes the fish meat curl as well when you're frying it. So if you're as right-handed as me, this other side of the fish is going to be kind of a pain in the rear. So with these panfish, it's a lot harder if you're severely right-handed or left-handed in one area. And even just filleting them in general is kind of difficult. It's more time-consuming. Bigger fish you can kind of just zip through and it's a lot easier. These ones you got to be worried, because you can miss a lot of the meat if you go in too big of a hurry here. Also, if you go too fast, you can poke yourself in the finger, get a good finger slice from your knife. So slow it down. But it's making it easier, I will say, doing the having frozen these or put them on ice like that. Made them really good. All right, so from this side, it's easier for me to go across that rib cage if I just turn it towards me and bring it down. Same thing though as before. I got my little carcass bag here for the fish and the fish skins. Make that little incision back at the tail here. You kind of lose a little tiny bit of meat, but it's kind of essential on here for these panfish. Skate that knife through there. Beautiful. That's gonna fry up nice into a coconut crusted bluegill fillet. We're gonna make tacos out of these tonight, so that's gonna look really good in taco form.
All right, so I am making the mango salsa to go on our fish tacos. We already cut up our mangoes. I did 2 mangoes, and Tim helped me because I'm really bad at peeling mangoes. So I figured I wouldn't make you watch through that. What I'm gonna use next is I'm gonna use a red pepper, a red onion, some lime juice, and some salt. So I'm gonna cut these up, put them all together, and then we'll come back and I will show you what they all look like together. So I'm over here hiding from my red onion because it is a terrible red onion that made me cry a lot. And I'm going to use my onion chopper. I like to be able to cut my own onion, but that red onion's really, really bad. So my handy dandy onion chopper's over there, and I am going to chop this onion so fast because I have the handy dandy onion chopper. So I also almost sliced my whole thumb off with it. True story. That was pretty awful. So I kind of cheat, chunk it. It's evil. And then I chop it with all the cheat in all the world. The nice thing about it is it goes into the container and I don't have to smell it. Tie-dye hates it. He's mad. Dogs are scared of it because it's scary. No more onion. So I'm going to try to use 2 limes. I don't know if I'll end up with 2, but I like to roll them so that they're easier to juice. And then I have a handy dandy tool for that. My mom gave it to me because she got tired of it. So I have my little juicer. So I'm just gonna cut these 2 in half. Put them in my juicer. And put the juice in there. I think I'm gonna need 1 1/2. I also did a whole onion. So it's 2 mangoes, 1 red pepper, a whole onion, and then about a 1/4 cup of this juice. So I'm thinking 1 1/2.
The other half can go into some Coronas.
That's the plan.
That's a good plan.
But I don't know if I'm gonna use this whole onion. Oh, I gotta get behind you, honey, sorry. I don't know if I'm gonna use this entire onion because it's so strong and Tim kind of scared me. The other thing is there's a lot of people that wanna put cilantro in things. You can put cilantro in this. We don't like cilantro.
Not at all.
Cilantro tastes like soap. And it's funny, my whole life I hated cilantro, but I didn't really have like a label of what it tasted like. And then when I got older, I read that to some people cilantro tastes like soap. And once I heard that, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what it tastes like. So luckily neither one of us like that. So unfortunately our mango salsa doesn't have that pretty green cilantro in there, but
it also doesn't taste like soap.
Do you know what? I forgot I was gonna put a jalapeno in it. I gotta get a jalapeno. So we're gonna put a jalapeno in this as well. So I'm gonna cut that up and then add a little bit of salt, put it in the fridge, and we'll leave it there until we're ready to put it on our tacos.
fish tacos. This is a recipe we kind of stumbled upon when we were in Florida. Worked great for snapper tacos, and we're bringing it back for bluegill tacos here. So we didn't have a good name for it at the time, so we just kind of combined our names and we called it hot tawdry sauce because it was a little hot and, well, Tim and Audrey. Anyway, kind of eyeball this, get a little bit of sour cream in here. If I had to make a guess, I'd say I'd probably start with half a cup. You don't need a lot, a little goes a long way with this. Okay, from there we got a little bit of chili powder and a little bit of garlic that we're going to be using inside of it. You don't need a ton of garlic. You can obviously cut up some cloves, or this squeezable garlic works great for a lot of things on there. Really recommend that. We're just kind of working it through here on that. One thing I did forget was a little bit of lime juice.
That's what it is.
I knew it was something. I'm like, we're gonna need a little bit of lime juice on there. And I'd say, you know, garlic it's a taste. I'll probably taste it and add a little bit more into there. Coming through here, grab a little bit of lime juice. Again, don't need a ton, you just want to have a little bit of tang into it. So I'd probably say that was about maybe a teaspoon of lime juice. Set it through there. Onto the chili powder for a little bit of spice. We have a brand new chili powder here. This is going to be maiden voyage for the chili powder. Have to do a chili catch can cook here. Do like maybe like venison or something this year later on. That'll be a good one. Like a venison chili. Run a decent amount of chili powder in here. You want to have a little bit of zip on it. I don't think that's going to be enough initially. No, I don't think so. You also don't want to overpower it either, so. Smelling right. Like I say, we're going to need more chili powder. We're going to need just a touch more garlic, I believe. But you want to have that nice coolness of the sour cream on there working. It works really well with this. And I think as we go, all these flavors are going to work really well together because we're going to have a lot of the coconut flavors in there really come through. And this is one you can use with like coconut shrimp too. Same kind of recipe. We cook it in coconut oil, bread it with some coconut. You're gonna like this one, trust me. If you like fish, you like fish tacos. As long as you don't hate coconut, this one's gonna be the one for you. All right, I think it's gonna be pretty close. Smells right. We cut out a step in between here, so we took the fish fillets and I soaked them in milk afterwards. So what this does is, at least what I've heard and what I've experienced, takes a lot of the fishiness out of them. A lot of the freshwater fish get a little fishy for whatever reason. And when I fillet them out, the water that I put them in is salted water. So I feel like the salt helps any little bit. I don't want a lot of fishy flavor. I really don't want to taste my fish. I just want nice white flaky meat. So soaking them in milk takes a lot of that fishiness out, and so that is a step we're ahead there.
Okay, so Tim went ahead and drained my fish for me, and I always do the breading when we do this. So we, from one of our favorite channels on YouTube, learned about Everglades seasoning, and you can't get it around here. You have to order it on Amazon or visit Florida. There's probably stuff in other southern places, but we seem to find it on Amazon and then when we go on our trips to Florida. So I have flour here, and I'm gonna add some Everglades seasoning. I wish I could tell you how much, but everything is so eyeballed for me with this. I just wanna be able to smell it in the flour, and I kinda like to see the darker speckles of it in there, and then I know I have at least some of it in there. Honestly, this isn't going to be the star of the show today because we're doing the coconut. So it's not too big of a deal, but I always like to season my flour. I don't want just a flour. Because, you know, nobody wants just a flour. Alright, so that is my flour. for my breading, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do about 3/4 of a cup for the breadcrumbs. And I say that just because I like a little more coconut. So usually it's, at least the recipe that I've used, it's supposed to be 3/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs and then 1/4 of a cup of coconut. I use a little bit more coconut because I really like coconut.
Coconut's good.
When I was a kid, I would go and sneak it from my mom's baked goods or baking stuff. I would just go sneak it and eat it, and I get in so much trouble for it. I could eat coconut all day long.
Drop a thumbs up if you like stealing baked treats like coconut or chocolate chips.
Baking treats, I think
Yep.
we're saying it wrong.
When you were a kid.
Gosh. I didn't steal the chocolate. I just stole the coconut.
I stole the coconut and I stole the chocolate chips.
Yeah.
Made me sick all the time.
Oh.
I didn't care.
So then I'm going to give that a good mix. Just make sure I have the coconut. The breading helps make the coconut fluffy, as well as it helps distribute it across the fish. The coconut doesn't stick as well without the breading, so that's why we put the breading in there to help with that. So you can see I've got kind of a nice amount of coconut distributed through my breadcrumbs. That's going to be so good. I'm so excited.
I didn't see you do it like that last time.
No?
No,
You
this
weren't
is
paying
new
attention.
to me too. You're right.
You're too busy frying stuff.
Yep, I focused on the frying. Yeah.
Okay, and then my last step is going to be my eggs. I always do 2, and then I never have enough, so I end up doing 3. So I'm gonna do 3 eggs, which today we have a little bit less fish, so I'll probably regret it, but I'm so used to breaking eggs for the dogs. When I break eggs for the dogs, I don't have to worry about shells, guys. When I break them for us, I actually have to worry about shells.
Yeah, we don't like crunching on
I still got my
shells.
game.
I like the station set up here. Fish flour, breading, eggs, and then the finished plate when we're all done. Got some taco shells over here. These things are delicious.
Got the extra fluffy ones.
Got the extra fluffy ones. Got some Tostitos carnita chips. Those things are delicious too. Put them with a little bit of homemade guacamole.
And a bread clip.
Mmm.
Alright, so I'm gonna beat my eggs. Get these bad boys all mixed up. So when I was, honestly, before last year, I always thought that you breaded, what was it? How did we always do it before? We didn't do flour first, we did egg.
Yeah,
and then we did
first.
flour and then breading.
Yep.
And that was how I was always taught how to do it. It was egg, flour, breading. And what I learned was the flour actually helps everything sit in there. However, I'm doing this backwards. I went and said this is my final step. All right, seriously, we went out and we went in the pool. I don't know how long we swam. And we swam all the dogs. And then we came back inside and I fell asleep. So I'm still kind of waking up. So yeah, so you're gonna do flour, egg, breading. And I always thought you did egg, flour, breading. But that's not the correct way to do it. And I can't tell you how much better all of our breading sticks. Just because
we got the process right now.
So I could do this in a bag. One day I was like, I'll do it in a bag. But just dip my fillet in my flour, dip it in my egg, let that drip off, and then it goes in my breading. And I just make sure that my fillet is all breaded. Both sides. Pick it up, shake it a little bit, and put it on the plate for Tim to cook.
That is a good looking fillet, nicely crusted.
Doesn't it look nice?
It looks good.
Somebody did some nice fillets for us.
Yeah, I did all right. Hopefully, you know, this is the first time in a long time I didn't cut my fingers with the fillet knife.
Thank goodness.
Filleting those tiny little panfish, it's hard because the scales fight the knife. They're small. You're working with a lot of small there, so small room for error, and sometimes the knife catches the finger. You know, That's never fun. Everybody filleted a bluegill before knows that. So.
Okay, well I'll get these guys completely breaded and we'll show Tim cooking them.
All right, we'll see you in a second. Coconut oil. Time to taste test. So I'm gonna give you an honest assessment of what I feel like we got here.
I got a ripped tortilla.
Oh, that's the worst. I actually am really hungry after swimming. We swam twice today out in the pool. It was 90. I don't know what it got to. Hottest I seen was 91. Said it was gonna get to 95 today, but it may have. I don't know. But
The heat index was 110 or something.
heat
stupid.
index of 110. Really good. What comes through for me is the pepperiness of the salsa, and that could be just what I got off the start there. I get the coconut flavor of the fish, but the salsa is really good. I put a lot of slaw in mine too. I'm a big fan of the slaw, so I got that to work through. But initially, yeah, this is a good one here. I love this recipe. This is one of my favorites.